for Georgia Tech. Point guard Sydney Wallace is back after freshman Reggie Moncrief making her first start since February 20th, and LSU controls the tip. Moncrief's defense will complement that of Danielle Ballard and the senior John Kenny. Kenny for three from the corner to get it started for the Lady Tigers.
Well, you see the aggressive defense from Georgia Tech back in that zone, but still couldn't stop Kenny from knocking down that three. She shoots 40% from that behind the arc. And here's LSU in their matchup zone. It is such a tough one, Kara. Morphs into a man at times. Hard to penetrate it.
Perimeter play, a key for this potent Georgia Tech offense. Kayla Davis well off on her first attempt.
Well, I tell you, we won't see many shots like that from Kayla Davis. She's a freshman phenom for the Georgia Tech Jackets. They rely a lot on her on the perimeter.
As we mentioned, Moncrief back in the starting lineup for LSU to complement Ballard and Kenny on the perimeter. Her first start since February 20th. Great attacking offense for LSU.
And that's what they have to do, because Georgia Tech will press for 40 minutes in the full court, the three-quarter court. They must be able to score out of it if you're LSU. Again, you see this matchup zone by LSU. It's very hard to get any kind of dribble penetration through this zone.
First personal foul on the freshman Moncrief. Steal specialist for them now. Team leader with 56 steals this season for LSU.
Well, two great defenders on your perimeter. Danielle Ballard led the team last year in steals. Now you have Moncrief leading in steals. Those are two great ball thieves out there.
Wallace is the creator, but she's the second best three-point shooter behind Davis, who has the ball. Stop and pop in the lane, in and out. Lady Tigers really exerting a tempo here now. Ballard with the jumper.
Well, they are, and they're doing exactly what to stop LSU's transition offense. You know, the stakes are so high right now. It's one and done from this point on. And there's not a better environment than the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament.
Georgia Tech looking for its first points in the game. Will they come from Kayla Davis? 18.6 points per game. Perhaps Ty Marshall, 19.6 points per game. Davis on the drive, short. Ballard keeps pushing pace. Moncrief with the offensive rebound. Deep three short for Kenny. She's frustrated. Michelle Joseph in her 11th year at the helm of the Yellow Jackets. This the 7th time she's led Georgia Tech to the NCAA tournament in the last 8 years.
Well, right now, LSU is getting what they want defensively. They're making Georgia Tech play half-court offense, and that's what you want to do if you're playing Tech.
Kenny back to Ballard. And one!
Well, this is beautiful transition offense by LSU right here. Tech not able to get back in time to cover all the LSU offensive players. And Danielle Ballard, there might not be a better player in the open court than this young woman on the floor today. John Kenny, again, the leader from that guard spot, able to feed Danielle Ballard at just the right time for the finish.
A couple of substitutions now, Nell. In the front line for Georgia Tech, they've brought in Aaliyah Whiteside, almost basically a fourth guard out there for them.
Well, it makes Georgia Tech a little bit smaller. Aaliyah Whiteside, really a perimeter player, a guard player, playing the 4 spot. But it makes Georgia Tech quicker and maybe able to push the tempo a little better for them.
72% free throw shooter Ballard converts the three-point play.
Again, we're having to see Georgia Tech run more half-court offense. But Sydney Wallace back in the offense for Georgia Tech. Gives them more options.
Finally, a basket for Georgia Tech. Shanice McKinney cleans up the more spots.
Exactly what McKinney is in the game to do, is to rebound defensively and put those balls back offensively off the boards.
Ty Marshall feeds it into Mariah Taylor. Has it stolen by Teresa Plaisance. Ballard cross court to Moncrief. Taylor, strong rebound. Wallace, in and out. Kenny has LSU on the move again. It's a track meet. Great save by Ballard.
This tempo is so up and down right now. Both teams trying to work their will upon their opponent. And LSU coming up with the upper hand.
Unfortunate turn of events for Moncrief. Her second personal foul early in this first half.
Well, you're exactly right. But they do have a nice player to come off the bench. And Deshaun Harden, the junior college transfer, has been starting for Reggie Moncrief. And she went out a few games back. So they don't lose a lot with either one of those players on or off the floor.
Also a substitution for Georgia Tech. Don May comes in for Ty Marshall. And a foul on the inbounds on Kayla Davis.
Well, this is where you've got to be really smart if you're Kayla Davis. That's your first foul. You're a freshman playing in your first NCAA tournament, but your team needs you on the floor. So you've got to be smart right now.
Quick hands of Wallace knock that Plaisance pass out.
Do you get the feeling that Georgia Tech's just a little bit, they've taken a hard hit from LSU? You know, coming out of the chutes hard. They've got to settle in and get themselves back in this game defensively first.
Three won't fall for Kenny. May running the show now for Georgia Tech. Davis for three. Short. LSU slows it down a little bit for this offensive set.
Well, they came out hard and fast, but they don't want to play that style for 40 minutes. They're not used to that. So running half-court offense is smart for LSU right now.
Bold pass into McKinney, picked by Whiteside.
You know, let's don't forget that this is Sydney Wallace's first game back for Georgia Tech after suffering a concussion in the last regular season game. And you see right there how she really brings extra offense to this team.
She has all four of Georgia Tech's points in the early goings. Plaisance for three. Short. McKinney among a double team. She'll be shooting two when we return. The Lady Tigers of LSU coming out firing on their home court. The Lady Tigers have the 8-point advantage early. Karen Capuano and former collegiate and Olympic head coach Nell Fortner with you. And my goodness, partner, thank God we hit that break so that we could take a breath. A fast and furious start to this game.
There was, and it definitely favors actually Georgia Tech, even though they're behind in the game. But they play that way for 40 minutes every game. LSU has come out the chutes firing and running, that's for sure.
On our way to the gym today, we talked about tempo playing a key in this 7-10 matchup.
Well, there's no question. In Georgia Tech, the controlling of the tempo is important for Georgia Tech. And again, I'll say this. They might not be ahead in the points, but they want to play this kind of tempo game. I like that LSU kind of slowed it down towards the end, almost around that media timeout, because they're more of that half-court set team. They want Plaisance taking shots. You know, they want to run some set offense.
McKinney, 65% free throw shooter, hits 1 of 2. 9-point advantage for the Lady Tigers. The Yellow Jackets, all 4 points have come from Sydney Wallace.
You notice how LSU's really extending their matchup zone, really putting a lot of good ball pressure, but they kind of put a little more on Sydney Wallace, that's for sure.
She declared yesterday that she was healthy and ready for this game for Georgia Tech, and that is evident. Wallace with all of Georgia Tech's points.
But there's that Georgia Tech press that really puts the pressure on, creating the turnovers that lead to fast break baskets for Georgia Tech. And that kind of pressure, it just wears on you, Kara, when you're constantly having the best day of the year.
From the corner, Harden. Three-pointer will fall.
Beautiful three-point shot by Deshaun Harden. That's what she brings. She can really extend an offense and make a defense pay for some mistakes.
So LSU 16, Georgia Tech 9. Should say Sydney Wallace 9. Turnover, Yellow Jackets.
Well, LSU's done a good job not letting Tiana Marshall get the ball in her hands, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to make some other players beat you besides Marshall and Davis. And Sydney Wallace said, well, okay, well, I'll give it a try here, and she's doing a pretty good job.
Wallace only averages 9.5 per game, so she's already at her season average in scoring, basically. Ballard. She's a lefty if that shot looked awkward. Plaisant's there to pick it up.
Well, offensive rebounds have been really good for LSU today. They're hurting Georgia Tech. They've got to keep Plaisant and McKinney off those O boards.
Still looking for response from Kayla Davis and Ty Marshall, the Yellow Jackets' leading scorers.
Here's the last basket. You've got LSU really just crawling all over the O boards. Plaisance gets an extra putback. McKinney's already had one today. So those are points. Those are what Nikki Caldwell likes to say, energy points. Because you've got to work hard for O boards, for loose balls, but they give your team a lot of good positive energy.
Marshall kicks it out. Rare miss for the red-hot Wallace. LSU ball.
Leah Whiteside picks up the foul on the rebound right there. Plaisance had position.
Harden draws a double out on the perimeter. Rena Hill with the ball now is checked in for the Lady Tigers. She takes it to the basket, stripped by Davis. Way to stick with it. Harden finding her range.
Well, Deshaun Harden really just having a shooting drill out there. Nobody's there to contest her in her last two shots, and she's knocked them down.
8-0 run for the Lady Tigers to build the lead to 21-9. Davis with the high arcing three, her first shot to fall.
Well, she is never afraid to take a nice three-point shot attempt. She's got a beautiful shot up top.
My heavens! What did Deshaun Harden have for breakfast?
You know, this is just the kind of start that LSU has needed after a slow finish to the regular season and also losing out in the SEC tournament.
Taylor down low. Excellent back to the basket work for the sophomore, Nariah Taylor. Hill trying to find some space against Davis.
Now you see Georgia Tech being able to mix up their defense, man, and zone right here. LSU trying to take advantage of the mismatch with Plaisance and Whiteside on her.
She got an open look. It was just a quick shot. Taylor again down low. Exerting her will.
Well, sophomore Nariah Taylor really doing some damage on that block for Georgia Tech off of the bench.
And then a backcourt violation for LSU. Georgia Tech fighting its way back in Baton Rouge. Both the Irish and Connecticut pursuing perfection this season.
And more perfection from the field, Kara, when you've got Deshaun Harden knocking down every shot she's attempted today.
Whiteside, in and out. Harden with the rebound. She has scored 8 of LSU's last 10 points now.
Yes, she has.
Well, that foul was whistled on Sheila Boykin. I was screened out by some bodies on the contact there. I didn't get to see it. Marshall. Great mid-range game. That's been key to her 2,109 career points coming in.
Well, and one of the key reasons is she has a nice little fall-away jump shot, so she creates nice space between her and the defense.
Great hustle by LSU to keep it alive.
Really nice patience by LSU right now, just trying to find the best shot on the floor against this Georgia Tech pressure.
Love that hounding, energetic defense of the Yellow Jackets. And you can catch the LSU men's team as it squares off against Larry Brown's SMU Mustangs. NIT second round tomorrow, 9 Eastern on ESPN. For information on every championship, check out NCAA.com, your official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Harden, finger roll, no. Rebound to Ballard, kick out, and reset.
Danielle Ballard, another one of those great rebounding guards in this game of women's basketball around the country. Tiana Marshall, great rebounding guard.
A block by Taylor. Wallace to Whiteside. Got it. Her first basket.
Now we see Georgia Tech heating up a little bit in their transition offense, but here comes LSU right back at it with John Kinney's layup.
5-point game at the Pete Maravich Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Well, there's no question, Kara. The people are getting their money's worth today in this basketball game because points are being scored in an up-and-down fashion. Fun to watch.
Foul on the three-pointer by Davis, so she will shoot three free throws.
You know, you hate this as a coach. You know, don't ever shoot a jump shoot. Don't ever foul a jump shooter. Here you go. Look how far behind the three-point line she is. So the foul right there. Now you put her to the free throw line, but Deshawn Harden picks up a foul herself, and you don't want that, especially on a shot like that one that Kara Davis was taking.
For their first free throws of the afternoon, the Yellow Jackets sending their best free throw shooter to the line, Kayla Davis, 79%.
Well, she's a phenomenal offensive player. She's just a freshman, 6'2". What a body she has as a guard. She has the ball handling skills, the create your shot skills. She's got a few more years to play in this college game.
Davis set the freshman record for points scored for both Georgia Tech and the Atlantic Coast Conference this season. Double team drawn by Kenny. Boykin pops out.
Nice points off the bench by Sheila Boykin, and that's what she brings. Size. She can get you 4 to 6 points, about 6-7 rebounds, and she's done her job.
Right side, working around the perimeter. Davis over a double team now. You were talking about her offensive prowess.
Well, that's what long arms will get you, and that nice floater shot.
2 shots coming from Deshawn Harden on the other end.
Well, Kayla Davis, fearless scorer right here. Loves the offensive end of the floor, but that nice floater shot over 2 defenders right there. She's got a nose for the basket.
She's also got such great size, Nell, 6'2", but much lower center of gravity with the way she moves on that perimeter.
That's a good way to put it right there. Excellent ball handling skills, but she has some great genes. How about her dad, Antonio Davis? Long NBA career.
One of our colleagues played at UTEP, 12 years in the NBA, and now an NBA analyst for the ESPN networks. Love the offense that Deshawn Harden has brought off of the bench. That was her specialty this season, the transfer.
Oh, and a beautiful shot. Her mechanics are nice. Does a nice job of taking shots when they're presented to her.
Whiteside, no. Ballard gets it back. What a move for number 32.
Danielle Ballard has such great body control when she's going up against the defense. for layups. Just a nice, strong finish for her right there. You see a little bit of a boxing one right now on Kayla Davis by the LSU defense.
Harden hounding Davis. Both drop to the deck in that screening action.
Well, it's really a nice job by Kayla Davis trying to create a little bit of that contact and draws the foul. I think that's an incredibly smart offensive play by Kayla Davis.
Second personal foul on Deshaun Harden to complement 2 fouls for Regine Moncrief. That brings in Rena Hill to help out on the perimeter.
Well, the fans are not happy with that here in this home court arena, the LSU Tigers, but it was a good call by the official.
Taylor in and out. Rebound to Ballard. Has Kenny ahead. Couldn't go left. Georgia Tech ball. The frenetic tempo continues here in Louisiana. LSU by 6.
She now has 8 points. It took her a little while to get on track, but they have to have her points on the floor. Sydney Wallace gave you hers. She's got 9. But Davis and Ty Marshall has to get on track also. She only has 2 right now.
Marshall has only taken 2 shots from the floor, 1 of 2 in the game. Done a nice job defensively keeping the ball away from Marshall. Blocked by McKinney. Ballard off to the races. Great challenge by Danielle Ballard. She's fearless in transition.
Well, she really is. You know, that's her game. She likes to get out in the open floor and go. One of the best in the country doing it. But look at Shanice McKinney rotating over from help side to block Kayla Davis's shot. Just a great effort by McKinney.
You brought up earlier Ballard's balance, Nell. She already has 7 points and 7 rebounds in this game, averages 9 points and 6.1 boards.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Danielle Ballard is capable of getting you 20 and 10 every night out. She's got those kind of numbers in her. But she plays great team basketball also when that's what they're calling upon you to do. But attacking the basket in the open court, she's one of the best in the country at doing that.
Ballard's numbers surged in the SEC tournament to 16.5 points per game. She's found her scoring of late. Taylor mishandles it on the block. Hill. Nothing. In transition, the response from Marshall.
Well, both of these teams really looking for the majority of their offense in transition. They're pushing the ball hard. LSU doing a good job of figuring out when we should run half court, when should we run in transition.
McKinney wants a high post pass from Boykin. Instead, they opt for Ballard. Great choice. 11 points for Danielle Ballard.
Well, you see LSU right now really putting the pressure on Kayla Davis to keep the ball out of her hands, but you've got Sydney Wallace, who has come to play today.
My heavens, has she? Wallace had to sit those last 3 games of the season for Georgia Tech, both the regular season and missing the ACC tournament. She came out ready to play. Some frustrated faces for LSU in this offensive set. As Georgia Tech's defense has locked it down. Ballard off the bounce, in and out. May to Davis in the corner, draws contact, and gets the basket to fall.
Are you kidding me? Wow. She is a freshman, and she plays with such authority and such experience. This is a tremendous offensive play right here. She knows exactly what she's doing. The little pump fake, draws the foul, but strong enough to get the finish for the and one.
How did she do that? Unbalanced feet. Her body wasn't even straight up to the basket.
Well, it's her size for one thing. She's 6'2", has the strength, but she has the offensive know-how, the experience from shooting the ball so many times in her career that she knows how to finish those shots.
Ballard works around Taylor.
That is a great offensive move also. We're getting a plethora of offensive moves by players today.
Ballard with the last 6 points for the Lady Tigers of LSU, and then a turnover on the other end for the Yellow Jackets, their 5th.
You know, right now, we just haven't seen Tyna Marshall get on track for Georgia Tech. And I know she's probably very frustrated. And I would expect we're going to see a little bit of a different player from her in the second half. But right now, she's got to figure out where she's going to get her points from.
Georgia Tech's all-time leading scorer, Ty Marshall, held to 4 points in this first half. Ann Peterson is checked in, handling the ball for LSU. Shot clock down to 10.
And Mariah Taylor gets called for a little bit of a trip foul right there on Danielle Ballard. I tell you, Danielle Ballard is slippery. When she's getting around an on-ball screen, she can split it in a heartbeat. And Mariah Taylor's feet got caught up right there with Ballard, and she draws the foul.
7th team foul for Georgia Tech. Ballard shooting 1-1. Is the 2nd personal on Taylor. Player who's very familiar with Ballard's game on the low block right now for Georgia Tech. Aaliyah Whiteside and Danielle Ballard, teammates at Memphis Central in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, let me tell you, that was one heck of a high school team. Because not only that, they had Nina Davis, who plays at Baylor. They were rocking and rolling.
They sharpened those games on tough street ball in Memphis is legitimate, and those girls can compete with the guys.
They don't play, that's right.
There's Whiteside now to Wallace. Long, a foul on the rebound.
Well, you're going to see Rena Hill trying to get some advantage on the boards against Kayla Davis. It just pushes her right out of bounds right here. You know, sometimes as a coach, you tell your player, look, I don't care what you do, just keep them off the board. So you see kids face guarding on a box out. You see them doing whatever they can to keep them off the board. So just a little bit too much effort by Rena Hill right there.
Davis hits the front end of the 1-1. Marshall has checked back in to spell Wallace. May will run the point for that stout perimeter of Georgia Tech.
You know, Georgia Tech doing a good job of getting themselves to the free throw line with their half-court offense, maybe not scoring as many points as they'd like, but the free throw line they're getting points from.
Dribble off the foot by Danielle Ballard.
Yeah, I like it when a player recognizes, hey, that was my bad. And Danielle's the first one to let her teammates know, hey, I got it. That's my bad.
6th turnover for the Lady Tigers. 5 for Georgia Tech. Very even there. Marshall.
There's Ty Marshall right there with that fadeaway little pull-up jump shot.
Ballard handling the ball a lot in this first half for LSU. She's been an offensive weapon for them. 15 points to lead all scorers. Renaissance has been pretty quiet. Whiteside has Davis in the corner. May across. Kayla splits through the defense. And that's a walk. But we have got a ball game here at the PMAC. 2-point advantage.
She can shoot the three, draw the foul, get herself to the free throw line. She's got her dad here today. Both her parents are here, and Antonio Davis, what a great player he was in the NBA.
And when your dad played 12 years in the league, you definitely want to put on a show when he is actually released for once from the ESPN studios. Our colleague has been very busy this NBA season, breaking down the men's program.
He sure has.
Coming up on the Northwestern Mutual halftime report, Kevin, Karen, Rebecca taking a look at some of the other games. Wichita State, Penn State close at the half in that one. Army, Maryland, Hampton, Michigan State. Yesterday was a wonderful opening day to the 2014 Women's Championship, and we're keeping it rolling in our second first round afternoon and evening.
I like how Georgia Tech can play different defenses against the opponent, really mixing things up.
Marshall drawing a lot of attention, per normal. May with the walk in the lane. A little look of frustration on the face of the senior out of Fort Lauderdale.
Well, I know she wishes she had that one back right there, but Dawn May's come in and really given good minutes with Sydney Wallace being out the last few games. She had to come in and play big minutes. Michelle Joseph rewarding her for more playing time now.
Ballard, hounded by May. Man, such outstanding defense on the perimeter for Georgia Tech.
And that's what she's in there for, her defense, her ability to assist.
Plaisance has been quiet in this first half for LSU. Just 4 points now for the senior leader, number 55.
And you know, when you're the leading scorer for your team, you've got to find ways to score in the first half of a ball game.
Inside, Taylor short. Plaisance pestered.
You know, a little bit just too aggressive by Nariah Taylor right there. I think if she hadn't maybe tried to jerk the ball down from behind, she would have got the held ball. But sometimes emotions get a little high.
Third foul on Taylor. Kara Capuano and former collegiate and Olympic head coach Nell Fortner with you at the PMAC on the LSU campus. Outstanding, exciting first half between the 7-seed Lady Tigers and 10-seed Georgia Tech. Teresa Plaisance at the line, shooting 1-1. All SEC first-teamer for 2 straight seasons now, and she's been such a potent scoring threat for LSU since becoming an upperclassman.
Well, she has. It's amazing, isn't it? Last year, her junior year, first year to start, she leads the SEC in scoring. She pretty much sat her first 2 years here, but she scored a lot of points now.
This half has been up and down. Started all LSU, then Georgia Tech went on a run. Sydney Wallace has been one potent scorer from the perimeter. Ty Marshall has been quiet until that putback, and she'll head to the line.
Well, those are the kind of points that Ty Marshall needs to get. She is a very good offensive rebounding guard, so she attacks the glass right here, gets a little bit of a loose ball, finishes with the foul. So gets an opportunity to get the and one, but these are the kind of hustle plays that'll get offensive players back on track.
First free throw for Georgia Tech, not shot by freshman Kayla Davis. Quick 9 for Marshall now. She was so quiet for so long, and her points have come in a flurry.
Well, you knew she wasn't going to stay quiet long. She's too good of an offensive player. She just had to find her offensive rhythm.
Outstanding second effort for the Lady Tigers to keep it alive. 2-minute mark now in this 2-point game at LSU. Ballard draws contact. She'll shoot 2.
You know, this has been an LSU team who's had to play a lot of this first half without John Kinney on the floor after she picks up her second foul. So, you know, that's a little different because they're used to her running the show on the floor. But I think Danielle Ballard is really doing a great job of running this Tiger team.
And a great glimpse at the future for LSU because Kinney, Shanice McKinney, and Teresa Plaisance, all seniors. Ballard, Deshawn Harden, who's had an outstanding first half. Those are going to be the fans that LSU is cheering for next year.
You've got LSU with 9 offensive rebounds on the half for 7 second chance points, and that's big for LSU right there. They've got to keep having those opportunities off the O-glass.
17 for Ballard in this first half. 4-point advantage, Lady Tigers. Marshall blocked. Second block of this first half for Shanice McKinney. Does not turn into a transition basket for Ballard. Wow, how many more looks are they going to get at that basket?
Well, LSU killing Georgia Tech on the offensive glass right now. That's got to be an area that Michelle Joseph cleans up at halftime for the second half.
Whiteside, baseline jumper.
Whiteside does exactly what you want to have happen as a coach, and that is to answer a fantastic play by the home team, and she does that.
McKinney falling down and one. That could be a SportsCenter top 10 type play.
Well, that is what effort will bring you. This is one of those positive energy plays that Nikki Caldwell talks about for her team. You've got a great drive by Ballard. McKinney follows the path of the rebound and finishes strong after the foul. You know, you heard the crowd, Carol, and you heard the LSU players talk about how important the crowd is for them and how it was last season. And you hear them being energized right now by the effort of the Tigers.
7-point advantage. LSU finishing this first half strong. Marshall, relentless.
Again, Georgia Tech answers a fantastic offensive series by LSU, and that's what you have to do to win at this level.
Great leadership. The senior Marshall was not getting her points early in this first half. Stayed with it, stayed in her game. Ballard, a bevy of moves for that finish.
Can you say playground? Can you say Memphis? Danielle Ballard has all those moves.
Fans on their feet for the final 10 seconds of this first half. LSU comes up with the ball. Of course, Ballard takes the last shot of this half. If she's disappointed she missed it, that's okay, Danielle Ballard. 19 points, 9 rebounds, number 32. Carry, 7 seed. Danielle Ballard, 19 for the sophomore to lead the way.
Well, she has exploded offensively. Just feels this pace of this game is playing right into her style.
For LSU, that's also the style of Georgia Tech. So they need to be careful now. If it's to stay at the tempo that we saw in the first half, which of these two teams would be favored?
Well, really Georgia Tech, because they're used to playing 40 minutes at that tempo. LSU, not so much.
Davis gets it back. Marshall off the mark. Great glass work and first point of the game for Rodrika Rogers.
Well, that's where Georgia Tech has to get extra points. It's offensive rebounds by those post players.
Too easy for place-ons on the other end.
Unsurprising, very rarely do you see Georgia Tech get beat after a made basket.
Mariah Taylor did not start the game, but she is starting this second half. Davis hounded by Moncrief. Michelle Joseph wants a timeout. Not even a minute in, first timeout called of this second half. You can really feel that it's winning.
Well, she really has, and she's doing it from all different areas of the floor, which shows her versatility as an offensive player, but none better than in the open court taking the ball to the hole.
1 rebound away from her second double-double of the season. Shot clock under 5 for Tech. Marshall baseline. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock violation for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, that had to have been a disappointing offensive possession for Georgia Tech, having called the timeout, coming out to run something specific, but not getting a great look at the basket.
9 turnovers for Georgia Tech to just 6 for LSU. Moncrief slices to the basket.
We see the ability of Georgia Tech being able to switch on some on-ball screens. Some great defensive versatility on the floor, 1 through 4.
Ballard almost took away that pass. Tenacious effort by Georgia Tech. Again, Marshall and Ballard on the deck. Jump ball, possession arrow, LSU.
Right now, Georgia Tech doing a good job of trying to get those extra shot opportunities by attacking the glass. But a little bit, you just feel like the offense is a little bit forced right now by Georgia Tech, a little tight.
Ballard a bit slow to get up. They got very physical there.
Well, it's going to continue to get physical. There's 18.5 minutes left to move on in this NCAA tournament. So players are going to be playing hard and tough right now.
Ballard has hauled in that rebound now. She does now have a double-double in this game, 19 and 10. Second this season, fifth in her career. Moncrief drawing a lot of attention. Blows by everybody.
Well, there's really no excuse for that. Coming off of a dead ball on the baseline, that you get beat with a layup on the other end. But Georgia Tech has to tighten up that defense right now.
Kayla Davis, Ty Marshall, the scoring specialist, but Sydney Wallace, she shines come tournament time. She did it in the first half. She did it in 2012 en route to the Sweet 16. McKinney, and one.
Well, right now, Shanice McKinney is the difference maker for LSU because her work on the offensive glass and putbacks have been outstanding. Right here, she is all over the O boards. I know Nikki Caldwell has to be pleased with her aggressiveness today on the offensive glass.
Costly foul for Georgia Tech, fourth on Nariah Taylor, who's been very energetic in the post for them today.
Well, right now, Georgia Tech gets very small. Rodrika Rogers having to really hold down the inside. And she's an undersized post player, but very athletic, but not large in stature.
9 points from McKinney as LSU continues to see production from players not named Kinney and Plaisance, their two scoring seniors. Wonderful, wonderful offensive decision by Davis.
Again, showing us a presence, an offensive presence far beyond her freshman years of experience.
Sets up Rodrika Rogers. Moncrief. She's been aggressive to open this second half. Hampered by foul trouble in the first half. Didn't play much. She wants to be a part of this.
Well, she does. You know, she came in here such a highly recruited athlete out of high school, all freshman SEC.
Marshall in the lane, in and out. Moncrief spots Ballard, streaking down the sideline. Got it.
Do you see the crossover dribbles that she has? That one was the ball's a little higher, not an ankle breaker, which she usually shows us, but just a phenomenal nose for the basket in the full court.
It's time for Georgia Tech to find a response now. All of a sudden, it's a 12-point advantage for LSU, tying their largest lead. Third round coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues today on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com.
You know, you're right, Kara. Georgia Tech has to find a way to stop the bleeding on the LSU offense right now. Shots like that definitely don't help their cause.
First minutes for the three-point specialist, Katarina Vukovic, for Georgia Tech. McKinney down on the block. Who needs a backboard when you can just float it over the front of the rim?
Well, good timeout by Michelle Joseph. Again, she's got
with the 13-6 advantage in the early goings of the second half. They opened the game 10-0 against Georgia Tech. We asked senior leader Ty Marshall yesterday, what word would you use to describe the Yellow Jackets? And she said resilient. Games we've played, coming back, getting back to the postseason this year. As Coach Joseph tells her players, it's not what happens now, it's how you respond. This is response time for Marshall and company.
Well, you're exactly right, and you can flip that and say the same thing for LSU because we've seen them be up by 15, lose that lead and the game.
Great energy there by Whiteside. Marshall scrapping. Excellent move to the basket.
Well, that's a good sign for Georgia Tech. The scrappiness, to stay with it, and ended up with the score.
And then a turnover quickly on the other end, a travel by Moncrief. who comes down holding her knee.
Well, that's never a good sign. You don't want to see a kid on the floor holding their knee. We'll have to wait and see exactly what it is and what happened.
Let's take another look here now.
She's going hard at the basket right here, and Whiteside on her, and it doesn't look like there was much of anything. She gets called for the travel right here. But she immediately grabs the left knee, so we'll have to see what the ultimate outcome is of this.
Moncrief did hurt her knee earlier in the season. She's got 6 points, 3 rebounds in this game. 4 points coming here in the second half. She's helped to her feet by teammates and trainer Mickey Collins.
Well, you mentioned it, Kara. She did tweak the knee later in the end of the regular season. That's when Deshawn Harden started coming into the starting lineup for her. Reggie made her way back to the starting lineup today. But we'll have to get a report on that.
Looks like Moncrief is being taken directly into the locker room for evaluation by the training staff. As play resumes, Harden has checked in to Moncrief's spot in the perimeter with Kinney and Ballard. Whiteside at the top.
LSU back again in this matchup zone. They really do a great job of playing it. Sometimes you think it's a man, sometimes you think it's a zone.
Great move by Wallace. Well, that's a tough shot over the 6'5" Plaisance. Hustle rebound for Ballard on the other end. She'll shoot 2.
She is an incredible rebounding guard. She just finds a way of getting in, first of all, getting position for the offensive rebound. Not afraid to take any amount of contact down there under the bucket.
Second personal foul for the redshirt senior Shayla Bivens. Ballard has just had an exceptional game today now.
You know, we're seeing parts of this LSU team of what they were probably capable of playing all year long, but just kind of brought it in pieces. And this is the longest amount of time we've seen them play at this level this season.
Ballard, 9 of 9 from the free throw line, 23 points to lead all scores. Time for Marshall and Davis to go to work. The potent Georgia Tech perimeter and scoring bunches. Marshall baseline.
That's really a beautiful shot by Ty Marshall. It's that fadeaway jumper.
And Wallace and Harden get jumbled up.
You know, Georgia Tech really never being able to set that defensive pressure that they like to run full court after a made field goal. LSU has done a good job of passing over that press and getting the ball down the floor in scoring positions.
Kinney for 3. Quick release. Long. Hustle rebound. Ballard had it stolen away by Marshall, the defensive specialist. Wallace for 3. No. Rogers. Wallace again. Got it.
You've got to credit Rodriga Rogers for those 2 points because she battled incredibly hard to keep the ball alive on the O boards and give Wallace a chance for a basket.
Ballard for 3. In and out. McKinney fighting for the rebound with Davis. Georgia Tech has the arrow.
These are the plays that Georgia Tech has to keep coming up with to get themselves back in the game. The absolute battle mentality under the offensive rebounding for for them to get the ball out for Wallace to score.
10-point advantage, Lady Tigers. 4 guards in right now for these Yellow Jackets. May, Wallace, and the scorers Marshall and Davis. Rogers calling for it.
Well, an incredibly small lineup by Georgia Tech. They have to be careful not to force those shots inside over the bigger LSU players.
McKinney has it robbed away. Marshall to Wallace on the wing. Sydney Wallace, the junior out of Johns Creek, Georgia, always fought NCAA championship. Wallace leading the way for Georgia Tech with 18 points. Ballard leading the way for LSU. It's an offensive foul.
A little bit too over-aggressive by Danielle Ballard trying to get into the paint against that press. You see Georgia Tech up in the tempo defensively. But Ballard just a little bit too over-aggressive against the defense.
Again, the Yellow Jackets with the chance to cut into that LSU lead. Rogers wants it against McKinney. Blocked. McKinney, the outlet to Kinney. Ballard sees Harden on the wing. Third three-pointer of the game for Deshaun Harden.
That is really nice team basketball by LSU. Beautiful pass, Kinney to Ballard. And she sees a wide-open Harden for the three.
Davis for three to answer. Rebound to Kinney. Now shots are just falling for the Lady Tigers.
Well, LSU right now is in a good rhythm, pushing the ball, finding the open shooters, or taking it themselves.
Marshall, short. Kinney with the outlet to Harden. Ballard wants it to simmer down.
You see where the LSU offense has really started with some poor offensive decisions by Georgia Tech, and that's why it's so important to make great offensive decisions if you're Georgia Tech right now to cut into this lead. You see the block right here. Shanice McKinney just doing work on the defensive end. Leads to transition. Beautiful shot in the corner by Deshaun Harden for the three.
The Volkswagen Passat.
LSU had in a groove in the SEC tournament offensively. She said when Danielle Ballard was aggressive, we were finding the right scores, and that's what propelled them to have the strong game against Alabama and a great showing against eventual champion Tennessee. That's certainly been what we've seen today.
Well, it is, because Danielle Ballard can set the tempo for your team. If you want to play fast, she can play fast. You just better put your track shoes on and get ready to keep up with her. If you want to play slow, she can do that too. But she's much better in the open court, much better in that full court, pushing tempo. So right now, LSU has had the upper hand in creating their offense in an up-tempo game, whereas we expected maybe Georgia Tech to do that a little more, and they've been limited.
11 now for Teresa Plaisance, the senior. 4 players in double figures for LSU. Taylor has checked back in despite 4 personal fouls. He goes straight to work.
Well, she did, and that was just a straight-up power play by Nariah Taylor. Leads to a turnover by LSU. But you see Nariah Taylor, that's a strong body, 6'5", and that takes it right at Plaisance.
12th turnover of the game for the Lady Tigers. Davis for 3. Great screen by Dawn May to free up that shot. Ballard has Harden on the wing. Armbar foul called against Dawn May.
You see the LSU zone forcing Georgia Tech to take shots way outside of the arc. And that zone has a way of cutting down those dribble penetration angles to the basket.
Plaisance inside. Outstanding block by Taylor. Plaisance, second effort.
You've got to have those second effort shots, and Plaisance had a few of them today.
Wallace turns it over. LSU ball.
You know, those positive energy plays, and this is one of them right here. Gets the first one blocked, stays with it, takes some contact, and finishes it off the glass.
Teresa Plaisance now the only player in the top 10 in the Southeastern Conference in scoring, rebounding, and blocks.
Those are some nice stats.
Absolutely.
When you know you have a player on your team that's going to bring that every game, you feel very confident about your chances in a tight ball game.
Kenny feeds Plaisance down low.
Okay,
Technician off the glass.
that is some serious technique, because that's a baseline off the glass hook shot.
Spinning as well. Marshall keeps it, fading away. Oh, her touch is so divine.
It was all about touch on that one, too.
Plaisance. Whiteside knocked it out. LSU keeps the ball.
Teresa Plaisance right here. Look at this shot. Turnaround baseline hook shot off the glass. Not much of an angle there to even get the glass, and she finds it.
Plaisance off the inbounds. No. Great defense by Marshall. Number 15 and number 3 in Navy. They need to go to work right now for Georgia Tech.
They're tangled up.
Defense cost her a boo-boo.
Well, tangle up between Kayla Davis and Danielle Ballard right here. Both players really going after the ball. I think it was the hook of the arm at the end of the play that got Kayla Davis the foul. I think they're going to go to the monitor to see if there was any kind of unwarranted contact on that by Kayla Davis.
Ballard, during her freshman year, Nell, shattered the single-season record for steals with 100 steals last year. We're used to seeing that kind of aggressive, quick defense exerted by her.
Well, you know, she's had some help there. This year, Reggie Moncrief comes in as a freshman and has taken over that little bit of that role. It just gave her some help defense. And because you always want to keep the game as clean as you can and take care of issues if there are.
Harden draws a double team. Big pressure right now from Georgia Tech, pays off.
Well, with 9 minutes and 44 seconds left in the game, you're down 15. You've got to put the pressure on tight right now and find a way for this ball to drop on the offensive end.
Marshall takes it at the top. Whiteside to the basket. Kenny comes up with it. Pulls it back out. One-handed pass. Senior to senior synergy.
Not only a one-handed pass, but it's almost like a no-look. I'm going to spin around and do a pirouette when I make this pass. Those two connect like peas and carrots. Those two.
Whiteside inside. Blocking foul on LSU. This deserves another look now.
Well, here we go. This is peas and carrots right there. That's John Kenny. So Teresa Plaisance over the top in the air with the strong finish by Plaisance.
And our second SportsCenter top 10 nominee from our first game at LSU.
You know, if you're a player, that is so much fun to make that pass and see that finish. But if you're the one getting the finish, that's fun too.
Plaisance with the last 8 points for LSU.
John Kenny, very rarely do you see her not talking on the floor. She is moving and directing, choreographing, coaching. He does a little bit of all. I'm not sure anybody would have predicted this score at this point in time in the game. With the style that's been played and the amount of points that have been scored.
Marshall had the lane shut down by Ballard. Showing some patience. Wallace. Whiteside. Tenacious. Plaisance straight up and down. And Michelle Joseph told us Teresa Plaisance presented a matchup problem for the smaller Georgia Tech team. It's revealed itself in the second half.
Well, it has. You see how the Georgia Tech, the smaller lineup, is going to struggle trying to go up against McKinney and Plaisance. They're just not big enough to get over the reach of those two players.
McKinney checks back in, Plaisance out. 17 and 10. Ninth double-double this year for her. Davis, a little long on the long shot.
Well, you see how Georgia Tech's having to settle for those long-range perimeter shots. But the thing that's been surprising is how LSU has beaten the Georgia Tech defense down the floor pretty consistently today.
Shanice McKinney, easy basket. She's got 13 now. Steal for Harding. And the finish. Nikki Caldwell has begged this LSU team to sustain a lead. The Lady Tigers pedal to the metal right now.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Quicksilver Card from...
But #1 strength of schedule in the nation and a strong finish with a win against Alabama in the SEC tournament and a good game against Tennessee pushed them back in.
And sometimes it just takes a team a little longer to gel. But you want to gel them right now. At this point in time in the season, it's the most important time. And that's what LSU is doing today.
Unfortunate error for Kayla Davis. Ball got away from her. Double dribble call.
Just right now, Tech not having any offensive rhythm. The inside's being shut down by the taller defenders from LSU, and the outside shots aren't dropping for them.
Rena Hill and Peterson in the perimeter with Harden, McKinney. Hill to the basket. Stout defense there for Tech. Marshall. And we can't say enough how fun this senior guard out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland has been to watch for Georgia Tech. The program's all-time leading scorer, defensive menace. Great finish by Dawn May, another senior.
Well, right now you're seeing what Georgia Tech's full.
Not only the leading scorer for Georgia Tech, 18th on the ACC career list, and you think about the scores that have come out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. That's quite a group. They allow quick timeout for LSU. Now Nikki Caldwell's got her hands on her hips.
Well, you don't want to have to use that many timeouts, 2 in a row within like watch games, but I'm not sure he's enjoying what he's watching right now, Antonio Davis.
The dad of Kayla Davis will be smiling on this play. Marshall draws the contact. She'll head to the line.
Smart offensive play by Ty Marshall to draw the foul on Teresa Plaisance. Get you up. Nice shot fake right there. If you're a young player, that's picture-perfect offense right there when you go against a big right at the basket. Get them up off their feet, draw that foul, and get yourself to the free throw line.
Marshall has been part of a big transition for this Georgia Tech program, and head coach Michelle Joseph now. Joseph telling us this Yellow Jackets team used to have to win their games with defense and rebounding. And she was the first real scorer that Joseph has been able to mold and help Georgia Tech become an offensive-minded squad.
Well, and one of the best things I liked hearing from Coach Joseph was what a hard worker this kid is. She never takes a play off, whether it's in practice or in a game. Sets a great example for all the other players on her team. on how to work hard.
When your best player is your hardest worker, that's truly a dream for a head coach.
That is.
Steal by May. No foul on the rebound, the LSU ball.
Well, an unfortunate miss right there. Georgia Tech is really getting themselves some momentum with this press, getting some fast break opportunities. You have to be smart in how you take those shots after you get possession of the ball again. Ty Marshall getting a bit of a breather right now, but you got to think she's not going to stay out very long.
The three-point shooting of Wallace and Davis can certainly get the Yellow Jackets back in this game with 6 minutes left. Kenny for three. Long. Ballard. Blocked by May. Wallace for three. In and out.
The pace of this game is still brutal. What a move by John Kenny.
Show and go for the senior from Baton Rouge. Let's see if Kenny has another Pistol Pete move in her arsenal. Tripped at midcourt. Play continues.
Well, it was a missed call by the officials because she did get tripped. It was inadvertent, but you still have to call that. But right here, what a move by John Kenny. A great pass fake that got Sydney Wallace out of position to contest that layup.
Announcer confession. That fake was so strong that I looked to the corner to see what Harden was going to do with it.
Well, you're right. That was a beautiful play, offensive play by her.
Wallace for three. Marshall, foul, in rebounding position. It's a good block out by the 5'9" Marshall against Plaisance.
Georgia Tech not yet in the bonus right here.
Ballard, pounded Holston. McKinney. McKinney hits the deck. Ball gets stuck.
Right now, it's a physical ball game, and that's what you would expect at this point in time in the NCAA tournament. Right now, players are trying to make plays to give their team an advantage. McKinney does a great job of running the floor. Dawn May up for the block.
If you're a senior, Shanice McKinney on the line, Dawn May, who had the foul there. This might be your last game of your career. You're going to leave every bit of it out on that court.
And Dawn May definitely is doing that right now, really, in the way that she's pushing the ball up and down the floor, playing defense. And she was going to just make sure that Shanice McKinney didn't get an easy layup. That's not a bad defensive play right there.
I've loved her defense today, her effort and energy. Team leader in assists, relishes her role as basically the guard who can play any position in the perimeter and comes in to spell whoever needs it.
And she did a nice job taking over for Sydney Wallace when she was out, and continues to today.
Taylor calling for it in the lane. Foul. This Georgia Tech team with its 79.7 points per game still in this game.
Look, let me tell you something. The ball game's never over when you have as many three-point shooting threats on the floor as Georgia Tech. So right now, if they can knock their free throws down, keep putting that kind of defensive pressure on LSU, they can get themselves right back in it.
And their three-point shooters are back on the floor in Wallace and Kayla Davis, the fab freshman. And that was the 17th foul for LSU, so 1-1 moving forward. We knew this 7-10 game was going to be a fun one to watch, and Georgia Tech and LSU have not disappointed in the first game of our first round doubleheader.
No, they have not. It's just been a little bit of a different scenario than we were really expecting as far as who is going to take advantage of the tempo, the fast tempo of this game, and it's been LSU.
Ballard fouled on the sideline. She will shoot 1 and 1. 8th team foul for Georgia Tech.
A little bit of an offensive defensive substitution right now by Michelle Joseph from Georgia Tech. Trying to get Nariah Taylor in on the offensive end, Gabrielle Holston in on the defensive end.
Foul trouble could be an issue moving forward for the Yellow Jackets. Both Taylor and May on the floor with 4 personals, Davis with 3. Ballard in and out. Marshall to May.
You know, you have to give a lot of credit to LSU's transition defense today with getting back and stopping these LSU easy basket layups. And also making it hard for Georgia Tech to run half-court offense. That's not what Georgia Tech wants to do. But you see right here, Shanice McKinney has been a wall today defensively in the paint. 6 blocks for Shanice McKinney.
Harden draws the double. The kind of offense LSU has set up, trying to build this 16-point advantage. Kinney.
John Kinney feeling it on all fronts, whether she's assisting, shooting it herself. That's a senior playing like a senior should.
There's a foul on the floor. LSU has built its lead to 18. 5 players in double figures.
Up. The short word. That's a tone.
Whether she's assisting with her no-look passes or she's shooting it herself in a fast break layup. She might even be coaching. But you know, we're in the Maravich Arena right here, the Pete Maravich Center. And how about Pistol Pete Maravich would be proud today if he saw the performance of John Kinney.
John Kinney, senior leader. She knows this is her last time to play in front of these Tiger faithful. And look at that balance. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Wallace, quick bucket for Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech really having to play some scramble defense right here to try to create turnovers and quick scoring opportunities for themselves.
20 points for Sydney Wallace to match Ty Marshall. 3-ball corner pocket short.
See a little bit of tired legs right there in that Sydney Wallace shot. Falling a little bit too short. See where that foul is right there. It's a little bit too much body on top of Plaisance. Maybe got her in the eye right there, but Georgia Tech trying all they can to create some turnovers, get the ball back. They need shots at the basket and as many of them as they can get.
10th team foul for the Yellow Jackets now puts LSU on the line shooting 2. Double bonus moving forward. Talked a lot about the senior leader, John Kinney, but these two are really a 1-2 punch, and Kinney and Teresa Plaisance. She's just been so consistent as an upperclassman. This is her 22nd straight game scoring in double figures.
Well, she is an offensive juggernaut, and I say that because she can do it from the block, from the elbows, from the three-point line. She's a very tough matchup for the opponent.
Davis threads the needle to Taylor. Gets Plaisance off her feet.
When Mariah Taylor showed great patience there and trying to draw the foul, and eventually got it to get herself to the line, scoring with the clock shut down.
That foul was actually charged to Shanice McKinney as Taylor drew attention from both post players.
And Shanice McKinney has had an outstanding day today. Defensively with her blocks, her presence in the paint, but her offensive rebounding has been outstanding.
Another whistle will send LSU to the line. Kara Capuano and former Olympic head coach Nell Fortner with you. LSU with a 90-74 advantage in this 7-10 matchup in the Louisville region. The home team, Nell, came out aggressive, really firing on all cylinders, making early shots, and they have just ridden that energy into this second half.
Well, they have. We know when they came out, they were playing the style of ball that Georgia Tech has played all season long, and that is just pushing the tempo. But the one thing that LSU did that made the difference in this ball game was breaking the Georgia Tech press. They passed over it, got around it, and scored some easy baskets against it. And Georgia Tech has never been able to really get any momentum with any of their full court presses.
The rebounding battle also greatly in favor of the Lady Tigers, 50-29.
And that has been a huge part of this game. The offensive rebounding ability by LSU has made a huge difference in this score.
Davis quiet in the second half. The freshman sensation drops the three. Her first points of the second frame. Scoring has continued to surge for LSU under Nikki Caldwell, but this output well over their season average of almost 70 a contest.
No question, but that's what an up-tempo game gives you. It gives you a lot of offensive possessions because you're pushing the ball, attacking the basket, and really playing at a pace that you're not normally used to playing for 40 minutes, but LSU has handled it nicely today.
Senior Dawn May has fouled out for Georgia Tech. Outstanding defense effort in relief. The team assist leader has played her last game for the Yellow Jackets, unless they go on some sort of a remarkable tear in this last 3 minutes.
Well, you can see the disappointment on Dawn May's face, and you hate it for all seniors. They put so much work into 4 years, a student, an athlete, and it eventually comes to an end, but you never want it to end, and if you do, you want it to end in that national championship game.
That the goal of all 64 teams in the field now, and those dreams have been dashed already for several squads around the country.
It takes all year to get there, and then it quickly evaporates.
Ty Marshall handling the ball for Georgia Tech. Their other sensational senior leader, the all-time scoring leader for Georgia Tech. Energetic crowd today at the Pete Maravich Center in Baton Rouge, and it speaks to the hosting piece of the first and second rounds of the women's championship. LSU has a great backing for early on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, they do, and they like to follow their Lady Tigers. There's no doubt about it. Now, remember those LSU players talking about how important their fans were last year as they hosted the first and second round, beating Penn State to go to a Sweet 16. And it's where the women's game is right now. We have to have host sites, and sometimes it can work as a disadvantage to the visitors, but that's where we are right now in our game.
Laissance has been showing off her variety of post moves today. Wallace off on the three.
And you can tell Georgia Tech trying all they can to get baskets, but they're settling again for
Pregame, and I think about what LSU head coach Nikki Caldwell said You are worthy of a victory today. We're going to win this if we play together. The balance that the Lady Tigers have shown offensively has been outstanding.
Well, you're exactly right. They played hard from the get-go. They pushed the tempo of this game, giving Georgia Tech the kind of game they wanted. And they took it. LSU took advantage of every minute of it.
Rena Hill will shoot 2 for LSU. A freshman out of Japan. It's hard when a team scores 95 to not think about offense. Highest scoring effort in an NCAA tournament game in school history for the Lady Tigers, but the defense has also been stout, Mel. 6 steals, 7 blocks, 6 from the senior Shanice McKinney.
Well, you're exactly right. There wasn't a whole lot that LSU didn't do well today, Carol.
Davis for 3, falling down. Lady Tiger ball.
You know, when you look on the floor for Georgia Tech, all of these players out there right now will be back next year. So this is a great experience for them. You've got 27 points returning between Sydney Wallace and Kayla Davis. That's a good place to start.
Plaisance checks out for the final time this afternoon, receiving a warm ovation from Tiger Nation.
And now, Lady Tiger basketball.
96-77 LSU advantage over Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets made a strong run late in the first half. It was a close game at halftime, but Antonio Davis saw his freshman superstar Kayla be stymied a bit in her scoring effort early in the second half. And as she slowed down, so did the team.
Well, and there was no inside presence for Georgia Tech. That was where Shanice McKinney and Teresa Plaisance came up big, shutting down the inside when Georgia Tech was struggling to score on the perimeter.
That was the great point from Michelle Joseph yesterday. Now, really only 4 of the 12 players on her roster have NCAA tournament experience. They've been to 7 of 8, but they missed it last year. And this young team, their goal all season, get back into the NCAA tournament and keep going what Joseph has started, being a team gaining national recognition.
Well, and they did that this year. They created a lot of noise within the ACC. They're building on something right now that they can take advantage of for next season. So it's always difficult to play in the NCAA tournament, not move forward, but at least you have the NCAA tournament experience to build on in the following year.
Joseph loves her team's toughness, and she's not talking about toughness on the court. They just have a resilient nature. They're emotionally very consistent. They work very hard. Still fouling in the final moments.
You know, one of the toughest things for Georgia Tech to have handled today was the amount of ball handlers that LSU has. When you have a Danielle Ballard, a Jean Kinney, a Regine Moncrief that can handle the ball with pressure, full court pressure, can pass over it, can attack the basket with bigs when you get through it. That's been the real downfall of what Georgia Tech was trying to do defensively today.
Hill weaves through the lane with the shot clock winding down. Total team effort for the LSU Lady Tigers. Commanding victory in this first round game. I guess I can't crown it. There's still 0.3 seconds left on the clock. Georgia Tech with possession here. And now The final whistle blows. 20-point win for LSU.